Welcome back, everybody, to the Get Back Guys podcast. I guess this is the second part here. We got episode 8, whatever it is. I don't know, too many episodes. We're filming a lot back-to-back. AFC West, last division we have to figure out. Football starts in like 3 weeks. It's crazy. We got a lot to do. I'm excited. So we invited Zach and Caleb to be here again, not only to talk NBA, which was on the last episode. Go check that out. But to also talk Caleb, Broncos fan, Zach, Big Bears fan. So we want to get in these two divisions. Rumor has it, another reason we need these two on is they might have a bet going on. So make sure to watch the next episode when we get to the Bears, and we'll discuss that bet there. Make sure to check that out. We'll be up the following Wednesday, I believe, or maybe the next Saturday. Haven't fully decided. Follow us on Twitter at The Get Back Guys or on Instagram at The Get Back Guys, and you'll find all that information there. So let's just jump into it. Caleb, Broncos fan, what do you like or dislike about your team going into this season?
Big fan of our new wide receivers. I think we nailed the draft. Obviously, I've been watching a lot of KJ Hamler. Been watching a lot of Jerry Jeudy highlights. Feeling pretty good about myself. I love Cortland Sutton. He was a bust-out guy last year, so our receiving core obviously is really, really exciting. Each one of them does something unique. So you got Cortland Sutton. He's like 6'3" or 6'4". He's a big body. He can catch anything that's thrown at him. You got KJ, who's fast as all get out. And then you've got Jerry Jeudy, who does a little bit of everything. So I'm excited about these receivers. I've been saying it for a while. I'll say it again here for your podcast. We don't know what the question is. We just know that the answer is Drew Lock.
Amen.
I wrote that up on the board right as you said that. It says the answer, Drew Lock.
Again, don't know what the question is yet, but I know that the answer is Drew Lock.
How do you feel about your defense? Because I love your defense right now.
I like him too. We're going to get Bradley Chubb back. That's awesome. And then our new defensive linemen too are I don't remember.
Earl Casey.
Yeah, thank you.
A
steal. I'm excited about the defense. Our defense was good last year, and I don't think it's going to get worse. So that's awesome. We lost 5 games by less than 7 points or some ridiculous thing like that. So if even 2 or 3 of those flip the other way, and then we get Drew Lock improving, I like the team. I think the biggest question mark is still the offensive line. It's not good. It looks bad. It was bad last year. So that's the biggest concern for me. But Drew Lock's pretty mobile. And I don't know. I like our running backs. I like our receivers. So I don't think, we're probably not going to break 10 wins, but we're going to be a fun team this year. And that's the first time we've had that since the Peyton Manning years. So I'm ready for that.
Yep. All right, Nick, Chiefs. Why don't you talk a little bit about the Chiefs? What's your thoughts about them coming into the year?
I feel like I've gotten all of the easy teams. I got the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Pats. This is just a joke. I think kind of everyone agrees.
Calm down with the Pats there, guy.
I think everyone kind of agrees that the Chiefs are at best the best team in the NFL and probably at worst like the third best team in the NFL. I have them at number 2. I think them and the Ravens are the 2 best teams. They have the best player in the NFL outside of maybe Aaron Donald and Patty Mahomes. Obviously, we've seen what he did in the playoffs. I think their offense is just basically unstoppable. They can come back from any deficit. So the only concerns that I really have about the Chiefs, one is their defense is their defense didn't improve at all. It actually just got worse because they lost Fuller at cornerback and Breeland got suspended for 4 games. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how they approach this season because they did just they didn't really play in the first half and in all 3 of their playoff games, they just kind of cruised through it and then ended up crushing the teams. And, is that going to kind of rub off into the season and how hard are they going to play for that number 1 seed is maybe one of the concerns. Obviously, the other issue is that the first half of last year, their defense was not very good. They couldn't stop the run. They couldn't do much. And they didn't add anybody, but randomly, like halfway through the year, they just started playing way better. And so I feel like their defense might regress a little bit, not totally go back to being awful, but they were playing pretty well actually at the end of the year. And so I could see, with the lack of cornerback talent and really outside of Tyrann Mathieu, I don't really like their secondary at all. So yeah, they have some stars on the defensive side of the ball, but they also have a lot of holes. But they can compete with the best of them. I expect them to win probably around 12 games, like they did. I think the last 2 years, right? They've been 12-4, so right in that ballpark. They're still one of the best teams in the NFL, best player in the NFL.
Kyle, what do you think about these Raiders?
I think they've bumped up their status a little bit. I think they're going to make some noise, not necessarily turn heads to be a playoff contender, but enough to where they get put on notice a lot more than they did last year. It just looks like they played it smart when it came to getting free agents or getting guys in the draft. When it comes to free agents, they didn't break the bank on anyone outside of maybe Corey Littleton, who came from the Rams, that middle linebacker of theirs, who is really good. But beyond that, they got some good guys that can just fill in depth and be almost contributors full time, such as Demarius Randall and Malik Collins.
Don't forget Nelly Aguilar over there, big boy.
Yeah, exactly. Nelson
He be
Aguilar
dropping
as well.
balls all day. Great DB. Great
well,
DB.
I mean, Derek Carr might
Nelly,
not have to rely on
that Super Bowl.
Nelson. Derek Carr may not have to rely on Nelson Aguilar is the thing, because when it comes to the draft, what?
He might not even make the team. You look at their roster.
Yeah,
they got a lot of wideouts.
I mean, exactly, and that's because of the draft. They got Henry Ruggs, who we all know, first-round pick. The guy's a speedster. He's a stud route runner. But they also got a guy like Brian Edwards, I believe his name is, who apparently is making some headlines with the Raiders. He's looking pretty good and could beat out Nelson Aguilar for sure. So the Raiders are being smart with their situation. They're trying to give Derek Carr enough weapons to have Derek Carr be back to form like he was. I don't know, what was it, 4 years ago in 2016? But
yeah,
for the most part, though, they're doing it in a smart way. They're not blowing the bank on anything. They're making smart moves that can keep them competitive and can keep that team building towards a bright future. So, I mean, I don't see them making any playoff contention or nothing, but they're trying to put people on notice. They're trying to have people know that this team's going to be contending hard to at least make some noise. So, and with John Gruden, that's to be expected as well. He's going to make sure that people know about the Las Vegas Raiders. So, that's what I see out of them.
I think they have a pretty good team, and they're just missing a number one pure wideout and a number one pure pass rusher. Maybe a Amari Cooper and Khalil Mack. Maybe if they had those two players, they're awesome. But no, they love to trade. Granted,
Amari
they
Cooper,
get Abram and
Amari Cooper 2 years ago. The entire narrative was he was a massive bust. He was never good. He shouldn't have been taken that high. And I remember saying, whoever trades for him is going to get a steal because Amari Cooper's just had a couple injury seasons. He's had bad coaches. He's going to be fine. That's sure enough what happened. He shreds my defense all the time, and it annoys me. Obviously, they didn't have that problem with Khalil Mack. Everybody knew Khalil Mack was elite.
One last note, too, that I completely am dumb for missing out on, but
they got
Josh
Marcus
Jacobs.
Mariota. Oh.
Well, Marcus, we'll see about the QB competition. I still like Derek Carr a bit more
I do
personally,
too.
but Josh Jacobs, I mean, I haven't seen much of Josh Jacobs' game, but
He's
from
good.
the little bit I saw, he's a stud.
good.
And I think John Gruden is going to make sure that people know about Josh Jacobs this year. He is going to have that guy really start to crank
he
out
had
some
a thousand.
stats.
Excuse me, he had 1,000 yards last year.
And he was hurt too. Yeah.
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 Yeah, Caleb, you had it on fantasy, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I like him.
Unfair. Well, I'll get into the last team here real quick. Who I got? I got the Bolts. That's what I drew there. I got the Chargers. Phillip Rivers out of town. Good, as much as Nick doesn't like it. I like Herbert. I think he should start. I also like Tyrod Taylor. Say his name right. How many hard knocks do we need to go through before people say his name correctly? Tyrod Taylor is good. They've got a decent offense. I think the loss of Melvin Gordon is a lot bigger than people realize. And yes, Kyle?
I'm just surprised because it seemed like they were doing pretty good with Austin Eckler.
I think teams prepare for Gordon, and then Eckler dominates because teams prepared for Gordon. And I do like Eckler, though. I think he is a good running back, and I think he can hold down the fort for him. But they also have another Ingram on that team that apparently might be holding out. So that doesn't look great, but they did sign Big Bosa, which is good, and their defense is pretty good. So I think they'll be all right. And, yeah, so let's get into these schedules, huh? Broncos starting the year. Titans at Denver. They're coming into town. Caleb, who's winning that game?
Man. I'll take Denver there. I will take Denver there at home, Mile High City, with the upset. Tannehill doesn't look great out of the gate, and the Broncos capitalize with a surprising good defense.
To remind everybody, we go into this with new guests every time, and we don't let our picks carry over because we like a fresh battle when we bring new people on. So Kyle likes to be consistent, but everybody else go ham. So
I always forget anyway.
He's got a W. Kyle, why don't we just stick with you here then? Who do you got? Titans coming into Denver against that defense, and the answer, Drew Lock. Who do you got? The answer's a great nickname, though. I like that.
Well, if the answer is Drew Lock, I got to give it to Drew Lock, right?
That's 2 dubs right there
Same
for Denver. Nick, who do you think?
Denver.
Oh, that's a win for Denver. All right, the next week, Broncos on the road to the Steelers. What was that, Kyle?
Oh, I was about to ask Zach what his choice was, but not a big deal.
There's no tiebreaker needed, Zach.
I was just curious.
Zach, do you think they'll win?
I think it's a good matchup. I'm a little curious. This is Drew Lock. He's learning an entirely new offense with Pat Shurmur coming in, and they have no preseason for install. And word around the block was that he had a little bit of trouble picking up the playbook last year when it was Rick Scangarello as the offensive coordinator. So I'm curious if Denver's offense, which is supposed to be sort of new look revamped, is actually going to be very strong out of the gate. I do think it's a good matchup. Denver has the run defense to try and go after Derrick Henry, and Jurrell Casey's going to want some revenge. So I'm not saying that Denver loses that game, but I don't think they're going to get off to a hot start on offense with no preseason.
All right, next week, Broncos rolling into Pittsburgh to play the Steelers. Nick, who's getting that win?
You know, I want to say Broncos, but I'm going to go with Steelers. I think Zach also makes a good point about I think a lot of offenses are going to be slow, and I think Big Ben's going to be slow. I think he's I'm not nearly as high on him as a lot of other people, but I think just Mike Tomlin's experience and the kind of Steelers organization probably gets a win here. So, yeah, I'll go Steelers.
Caleb?
Yeah, healthy Juju. Listen, Big Ben's looking like Santa Claus Ben at this point from everything
He's slimmed down a little bit.
He's trimmed, is that what you said, or gotten?
Yeah, if you've seen the beard too, but if you've seen him at camp, he looks a lot slimmer than he did even a few months ago.
It looks slim when you saw him last. All right, I guess I want to say Broncos, but I don't know. Steelers are always a good team, and the Broncos, other than one time with Tim Tebow, we always struggle with them. So I'll take Steelers there.
Zach, Kyle, do you agree? W? No, we got shaking heads. Kyle, Kyle's making the. Oh no, Kyle, what are the Broncos good at here? What are they good at, Kyle?
I'm just thinking about the Steelers O-line is really good. The Steelers D-line is really good. I'm just trying to think of who would win that matchup. I think the Steelers O-line could be strong enough to hold some time for Roethlisberger and for him to make plays with Juju and his other weapons. So I could see the Steelers being able to squeak out a win.
Also, the Broncos O-line is not good, and the Steelers have led the NFL in sacks for like the past 3 years. So
that's a loss right there for the Broncos. Now they go back home, and then Tommy Brady and the Bucks coming into town week 3. Who is taking that, Kyle? I'll start with you here.
I'm bringing the Bucks versus. I think it will be the Buccaneers. I think Tom Brady. I have a feeling that Tom Brady still won't be in some kind of weird slump like he was last year. I think it will be a bit more revived, and I could see him being able to use his smarts for the game and be able to use such great weapons like Mike Evans and Chris Godwin to be able to do some damage. I could see him being able to beat out Drew Lock too, even though Lock's the answer. But Tom Brady, you can't really ignore what he's done.
Caleb?
Yeah, I want to see Tom Brady in that offense. So for me right now, this is a toss-up, but I'll take the hometown team there and say Broncos.
Nick, you agree here?
You know, that's also, I think that's 3 really tough games to start out with for the Broncos. And I think I will go. I'll give it to the Bucks. I think the Bucks will have a little bit more. They'll just be playing probably more efficient, and the talent. Just they have more talent, I think, overall, and that's what will kind of maybe.
I'm going with
the lead.
With the Bucks winning here too with a loss, but I think that game might be fun. I think we might see Drew Lock and that offense speed up a little bit, and I think maybe Brady might take a minute to get used to a system that he hasn't been a part of since 2000. So I think it's gonna be a loss, but if this is a different score, I'll be all right with it.
Brady also struggles in Denver most of the time. I mean, doesn't he have a losing record in Denver in his career?
Like
I
the
don't
only
know.
city, I think, that he does, yeah.
But this is
That
Florida.
Miami.
Yeah.
He's also never beaten Cam Newton. Remember that. All right, Broncos then go play the Jets in New York. I'm going to start with this one. Jets, I don't think are very good, and I think the Broncos would win that game. Anyone want to chime in after that?
Yeah, Adam Gase is dumb. That's a win for the Broncos.
Looks like I got a lot of shaking heads here. Say that again, Caleb.
The Jets considered a professional football team still? I don't know.
I mean, they're no Browns from like 3 years ago, but I think that looks like a consensus there. A win for Denver. So then Broncos have to not only go to New York, then they got to travel to New England and Foxborough, go play Nick's boy Cam Newton. Why don't we start with you, Nick? Who's winning that game?
That'll be an interesting game because I think Cam might be settling in by then, and I don't want the Patriots to be good, but I want Cam Newton to be good. So I think that, again, could be a pretty close game. But I think Drew Lock might be hitting his stride after a couple tough losses, an easy win, and then he gets a big win in Foxborough. So I'll go Broncos.
Ooh, Caleb, do you concur there?
I'm very scared that the Patriots are going to be surprisingly good this year. So I'm very nervous about this game. But if Nick says it's cool, I'm saying the Broncos are going to win too. I'm in.
All right, 2 wins. Kyle, what do you think?
I want to hear what Zach thinks.
All right, Zach, what do you think?
I lean Patriots. The interesting stat about the Patriots, they have lost more defensive talent with veteran talent than just about any team in the past 20 years. And that was before Dante Hightower and Patrick Chung opted out. So I'm a little nervous about their defense, but their secondary is still just as strong as it really was. I mean, Patrick Chung is not a huge loss for them. He's not even one of the top 4 guys in that secondary. So that's the unit that made Sam Darnold see ghosts last year. And Bill Belichick's track record against very young QBs is incredible. So I lean Patriots. I just don't think Drew Lock is going to be able to decipher New England's system during that game.
Osweiler did fine. Plus, Von Miller owns Cam Newton. So,
Cam probably should have dove for that fumble. So you said win there for the Patriots. We have 2 wins for the Broncos. Kyle, are you going with Zach, or are you are you going to force me to make a tiebreaker, or do you agree that the Broncos will win?
Man, yeah, I think Zach has me lean towards Patriots.
Well, I'm picking Broncos because I don't like the Pats.
Works for me. Lock's the
Broncos
answer.
with a big win there. All right. Then Dolphins come into Denver. The Finns playing the Broncos. Nick, what do you think? Who's winning that one?
Probably depends on who's what week is this? Like week 5 or 6? Depends on what Tua's doing.
Week 6.
I'll lean Broncos just because Ryan Fitzpatrick, we've seen him win some big games, but like a random game in the middle of the year that doesn't have a lot of stakes, either Tua's just started playing or you're kind of getting to the end of your rope with Ryan Fitzpatrick. I'll go Broncos, especially after a big win in Foxborough.
Zach, what do you think?
Dolphins O-line is still kind of shaky. I'll take the Broncos pass rush to control that game.
Caleb?
Love it. Broncos.
Good to
And
go.
Nick, you said Broncos?
Yep.
If Tua's playing, Fins. But I'm outvoted. But if Tua's playing, Fins. Sorry, Caleb, but if Tua is playing, Fins.
Why'd you put an L there, sir? That's not an L. That's a W for you.
Sorry.
There we go.
Well, Tua's playing.
Oh, right.
Well, then after a big win against Ryan Fitzpatrick because Tua was not playing, we've got the Kansas City Chiefs who come into town and get a big win. So we all just kind of agreeing here, loss for the old Broncos.
Yeah, Patty's God.
I had
Luck's
to-
the
I had to
answer,
look
but
at
Patty's
Kyle there.
God.
Yeah, who wins, the answer or God himself?
It's God.
You know,
Then
it's
they-
interesting. Patty's had the snow game and the left-handed pass against the Broncos. So I'm guessing that in year 3 against the Broncos, he's going to do his behind-the-back pass.
I
That's
think
when
he's
he
going to
perfects
kick it. I think he's going to toss. It'll get batted. He's going to kick it. Caught. Tyreek Hill. His kick went 80 yards.
Is there
The hell?
nothing
No,
we can do?
he's gonna play tight end, and Kelsey's gonna throw.
Probably.
Easy enough.
So then they go on the road to play the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta. Caleb, are you getting a win on the road here after a loss to the Chiefs?
Depends on what Falcons team shows up. Are the Falcons supposed to be good this year? I don't. What is consensus? What are we?
Yeah.
I think they could. They're going to be anywhere between 6 and 10 wins. So kind of a
They've
broad
got a
spectrum.
tough division.
That's the problem.
Yeah, so they've gone the last 3 years. What they've been 10-6, 7-9, 7-9 since their Super Bowl appearance. They've also played really good in the second half of the year the last couple of years and played bad in the first half. I think they have a lot of talent on the offensive side of the ball, but their defense isn't good enough. I think they're around an 8-win team unless the division really, unless they get swept by the Bucks and the Saints, then they might drop to like 6 or 5 wins.
So at this point in the season, that's probably a game that the Falcons are really going to want to win. To make sure that they're in title or playoff contention. I guess Atlanta there, but again, that's another toss-up. I don't know. It depends on what Atlanta team shows up that day.
Kyle, Atlanta, are they winning?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I think that Atlanta offense is going to be top 10 with or without Todd Gurley. It's just that defense that has really suffered, especially over the past few years. And I could see Matt Ryan being able to beat Drew Lock. So
Zach, Nick, agree? Falcons win?
Yeah, I'll go Falcons just because that's a hard stadium to play in, and Drew Lock's still young, and there might be some bumps in the road this year.
All right. Broncos at Raiders next week, the following week there. Zach, who's winning that one?
I actually really like the Raiders this year. I think I'm in the anomaly, sort of on the outside looking in there, but I think the Raiders are a wild card team. So I trust them to get a win in the black hole. They're not going to have any fans, so who knows how that's going to work out. But they did really they destroyed the Broncos at home last year, and that doesn't necessarily carry over. But I lean Raiders on this one.
Caleb?
Yeah. Oh,
Oh.
Caleb, you go.
I am the exact opposite. I don't think the Raiders are going to be very good. I just don't. I don't see how you're going to put a bunch of 20 to 40-year-olds in Las Vegas and expect them to not get into some sort of trouble here. And I don't know. Like every year, really good players go to Miami, and it's a very similar thing. It's just a fun town to be in, and it seems to affect football more than any other sport. I don't know. I don't buy the Raiders this year. I think they're going to be pretty bad, shockingly bad. So I'm going Broncos.
They're not a lot out of the hotel. So
You're telling me how many players are going to listen to that? Really? I mean,
They
come
could get
on, we've got
suspended for
Lou
the
Williams
season.
out there going to clubs to get wings. It's going to happen in the NFL.
I mean, we know the
Hey,
Seahawks aren't going to
yeah.
abide by that.
How
They've
do
already
we
had to
know
cut a
that's
rookie.
not? That could be a bunch of random people dressed up in Raiders gear in Vegas. We don't know, Zach. Seattle is sneaking people in all day long.
we caught
Well,
him.
I mean, he got cut.
Her. You caught her.
Well,
You know,
them
I just-
both.
there's going to be some pretty stringent policies keeping people from going out and enjoying the Vegas nightlife.
Oh, yeah, it's
I mean, I could see that being an issue, but
You
What
know,
was that?
I am the very big medium in between Zach and Caleb on this topic because I think the West is going to have 2 playoff team representatives, but to be honest, I think the Broncos, Raiders, and Chargers all have a decent shot at it. They all have a decent amount of talent on their team. The Chargers have a great defense that just needs a quarterback to play good. The Broncos have Drew Lock, who can only step up, and the Raiders just have a lot of B players. So I'm like really uncertain about them, but I want to trust in the answer, so I'm going to go with the Broncos.
Yes, I love it.
So is that a win? So we got Bronco
2-1
loss. Kyle?
The thing that I notice about the Raiders is that they don't really have any cornerbacks of notice. Like, I guess Demarius Randall could be like a slot corner for them, kind of, but I could just be able to see Drew Lock being able to shred that defense or that defensive backfield because they really don't have that many key players that could make a difference, help that defense out for the Raiders. So I can see Drew Lock and the Broncos winning.
That's a win for the Broncos. All right, Chargers at Broncos. Caleb, who's winning that one?
Broncos. I don't trust Herbert at all. There you go.
Do you trust Tyrod?
Tyrod.
Tyrod, excuse me.
The only
I'm
Tyrod
sorry.
or Ty God, those are the only 2 acceptable names. No.
Okay.
He's a simple man with simple answers. I love it. Zach, do you agree with his simple answers?
the Chargers' defense is really good. I mean, I don't know that their offense is going to be anything special, but their defense could definitely make some issues for that Broncos offensive line. So, and also it's just the Broncos are a really young team, and I think we've just had them winning at least 2 or 3 games in a row here. I'm wondering how they're going to handle stringing together wins. So, a division game, I would take the Chargers on this one too.
The Broncos have been bad in division games lately, so that. Yeah.
Alex, so how many wins do they have right now? Will you count them?
Right now, we've
No,
got
just in a row before this game.
1.
Okay.
Who did they lose to?
They lost to the Falcons,
Oh, right.
and then
Okay.
they go and
counted
beat
Miami
the
in
Raiders.
I'll go with Broncos because I'm also don't like Herbert, and maybe that's because I compare him to Jordan Love all the time, and I like Love a lot more, and because I have to. But I think Herbert's probably starting by this point. I think actually if Tyrod starts, they have a much better chance to win this game because I think they're just going to be in every game because he doesn't turn the ball over and they have a good defense. But I think Herbert will be starting, and the Broncos will win even with that great defense.
Kyle?
I'm going to assume that Melvin Ingram comes back from his holdout, and that could really cause damage to that Broncos O-line between him and Joey Bosa. So I think Chargers could be able to sneak a win.
Is that a loss?
We need
Yeah,
a
loss for
tiebreaker.
Broncos. Yeah. Sorry.
Well, go Broncos. That's a win. Saints at Broncos.
It was 2-2, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm the tiebreaker, so Broncos
Yeah,
getting
my
the
bad.
win. Von Miller will beat up Tyrod. I hope not. I like Tyrod. All right, Saints at Denver. I think the Saints probably win this game. Do we have any pushback here? Got a lot of doesn't sound all right. That's a loss. And then they have to go play the Chiefs in Kansas City. We already had them losing in Denver early in the year. Do they get an upset on the road? Got
That's a
2
tough
shaking heads.
stretch.
Kyle's 3. All right. Well, that's
Yeah, I think the Chiefs
that's
are going to be
lost.
pushing also at this point in the season, maybe going for the 1 seed, and which can really hurt the Broncos' chances.
All right. Then Broncos at Panthers playing Teddy Bridgewater. Caleb, who's winning that one?
That's a W. The Panthers are going to be bad.
I agree.
I agree, but Christian will have a good game. Christian's going to have a great year. I don't see McCaffrey regressing.
Yeah.
That's 3. All right, so that's a loss.
No,
Bills
that's a win.
at. Oh, you're right. Oh, you're right. That's what I meant. I'm sorry. I was thinking.
That's why there are 5 of us here.
It's true. Bills at Broncos. I like the Broncos defense, but I think that Bills offense will be rolling. Anyone disagree?
It's a toss-up.
Toss up.
I think like Broncos are going to be playing for playoffs, and I think Bills are also going to be playing to win that division at that point. But I'll go Bills. I'll go Bills.
What week is this, by the way? Is there a chance like snow in Denver at this point in time? Because I'm
This is,
having this nightmare about Josh Allen trying to throw in the snow.
Oh, we
So-
lost. Man, we lost Caleb live.
He
Here
was
on
so
the
upset.
scene. He's so upset he left. There's 3 weeks left. This is the third to last
okay.
week. So you
I would
got
take the Bills in that.
the Bills, huh?
Okay. So Bills
Their
got
defense,
it either way.
I mean,
Then we have Broncos at Chargers. They won last time at home. Do they lose on the road here, Caleb?
I think so. We're bad in divisional games.
So you think they'll split with the Chargers? All right, Zach.
I think they're more likely to split with the Raiders than the Chargers, but I would say that
we'll get there.
that I could see them beating the Chargers. Chargers are never good to close out the year unless they actually have a really good team. I could see all of them being in the wild card mix, and of all the teams, I feel least confident in the Chargers. So
I agree.
I'd go
Herbert's
Broncos.
a joke.
I like
Unless
George, but
unless
stop
Herbert's
being
playing
mean,
awesome. If he's playing like if Herbert comes out and he's insane, like obviously they're going to be good. I just don't think so. So I'll go Broncos.
All right, Broncos get a win. Wait, you said loss. You said loss. You said win.
You know what? After hearing all this talk, I'm changing my answer. It's definitely a W. Obviously. Who would think otherwise?
So Kyle, what do you think?
I just kind of realized something. The Chargers are known for always being played with injuries. What if that happens to them again? What if their team gets played by injuries so bad, like they do every year, that it could cause them to lose games?
I don't think
Are we
it'll
talking
matter. They
about
could
the
be healthy,
Eagles?
and I think they'll still be bad.
I just think that's an interesting thought. I guess they could. I could see them splitting the Chargers and Broncos. So, right?
So are we
Yes.
tied here now?
No. I changed my vote.
Yeah, it's 3 already.
3 to a win
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
for the Broncos.
Yeah.
correct.
No splitting. Broncos win both times against the Chargers.
Oh, I thought they split for some reason. Oh.
Raiders at Broncos. Last game of the year. Could be a playoff fight here. Zach, you're high on those Raiders. Are they going to win this game if it's a playoff fight?
I'm pushing for a split. I mean, they just got a lot of talent all over the roster by the end of the year. All of those rookies that they're counting on are going to have matured. I just Josh Jacobs, Henry Ruggs, Tyrell Williams, Darren Waller. Their offensive line is better.
If you don't
I just really
Name
like the
Nelson
Raiders.
Aguilar. I am going to kick you off my show.
Hunter Renfro.
I like Hunter Renfro. So you think a win for the Raiders? Do we have an agreement here? I see some shaking heads.
I'd go Raiders just because I think I don't think the Broncos are going to sweep both the Chargers and the Raiders, even though the timing of it actually might be a little off, because I think if they're both in playoff contention and they've, are of a similar record, I might go Broncos, but for the simulation, I think they would split. I'll go Raiders.
Caleb?
Personally, I don't think the Raiders are going to be in the playoff hunt. They're probably going to be at about 6 wins here. So if the Broncos are, and it seems like we're kind of saying it sounds like we have them at least in contention here, I'll go Broncos.
Kyle?
What the heck? Drew lost the answer. I'll take Broncos.
Well, we are way over pumping these Broncos, and I love it. Let's
I
keep
am
it going.
I am
I'm the
afraid that the
tiebreaker
Broncos.
here.
Oh yeah, Alex. What
Go
do you
ahead,
think?
Kyle. Say your point. No, say your
Well,
point.
I was just gonna say, like, I do have that worry that the Broncos are gonna become last year's Browns, where like we pump them up and think there's no stopping them, and then it just all crumbles. I'm hoping that's not the case. I don't think that's gonna be that bad, but it's a worry. It's legit.
Going into this game, they have 8 wins. So if they lose, they're 8-8. If they win, they're 9-7.
I love it. I'm going win. Love it. 9-7.
I'm
is
the
right where I feel.
tiebreaker. I think I'm gonna go. I don't think I can bring myself to pull the win here. I'm sorry, Caleb. I think it's a loss because I do think they'll split.
But I almost want to change my vote because I feel like 9-7 is exactly what they're going to go.
9-7.
All right, 9-7. Win.
Oh, yeah.
Nick coming in, making me not have to be the bad guy. Thank goodness. Drew Lock, the answer, goes 9-7. All right, we're heading over to the Chiefs. Let's see how fast we can rattle these wins here because we know it's gonna be good.
I don't think
Nick,
we haven't picked the Chiefs to lose a game in any other of these. Anytime any team plays the Chiefs, we've given them a win. So it's going to be interesting to see what we think.
So Texans at Chiefs win.
Underrated component here. Andy Reid off the bye is almost unbeatable, and no one else has had a preseason. So of all the coaches I expect to come out hot, Chiefs.
Yeah.
Now
Chiefs.
wait a minute. I know a couple league sources, and somebody told me that the Texans are extremely versatile until week 3 of the NFL season. They lose all versatility after that. So that is a tough game. Chiefs win it, though.
Go back to some
that?
past episodes for that understanding of the Texans.
Yeah, that's 3 already.
Win. Chiefs at Chargers. Chiefs?
Yeah, Chiefs.
Yep, all right. Chiefs at Ravens. I think Ravens.
I'll go Ravens because I don't think the Chiefs are going to go 16-0. And I think the Ravens are better.
Ravens defense is better.
Although you guys didn't give me that win when we had the Ravens episode.
Hey, these don't roll over here. I don't know what you're talking about. Caleb, do you concur here?
No, I don't. I think we all want to pick the Ravens right now, so we don't have the Chiefs going 16-0. But the Chiefs are going to win this game.
Zach, are you Ravens or Chiefs?
I lean Ravens, and it's not because I think they're better than the Chiefs. It's just that they want to have Rashad Breeland back at that point. I could see the Ravens' offense staying competitive, and it might just come down to who has the ball last.
Yeah.
But if the Ravens can get, if the Ravens get the lead, they're pretty hard to beat. So I'll take the Ravens.
Who's the home team in that?
The Ravens.
It's the Ravens.
Oh.
It's in Baltimore.
Okay.
Looks like a consensus loss here. Then we have Patriots coming into Kansas City to play the Chiefs. I think Chiefs win that game on the road.
I think it'll be a more competitive game than we're anticipating because I think by like week 4, Cam Newton could start playing pretty good if he's healthy, but I'll go Chiefs for sure.
If it's Cam Newton, I think it could be competitive. If it's Jared Stidham, I think the Chiefs will win 78-2. I don't know how they got the safety, but they did. Anybody else think Chiefs get a win here? Is that a yes? I'm sorry, my dog walked in. I wasn't looking at your heads.
Yeah, Chiefs.
All right,
but Belichick will
the
make
Chiefs.
it difficult.
Raiders at Chiefs. Who's winning that one?
Raiders.
Chiefs.
I'm kidding,
Kyle?
Chiefs. I just wanted to see what Caleb would say.
Chiefs at Bills. I'm taking the Bills at home.
That'll be an interesting game. I think I'm leaning with Alex, too. I like the Bills this year.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs also might stumble a few times this year because they are coming off of a Super Bowl win. And yeah, they were absolutely dominant on offense in those 3 games, but they lost some defensive talent. And yeah, I'll go Bills.
Josh Allen trying to keep up with Patrick Mahomes feels like the equivalent of a VW bus trying to keep up with a Ferrari. So, Chiefs.
Well, my reasoning is I love the Bills' defense, and I think Kansas City has an okay defense.
I think Diggs could have a huge game in that.
I think that's a defensive battle.
Chiefs secondary, like him and John Brown. I don't think Josh Allen will play insane, but I think he could have a couple of big throws against that defense while maybe the Chiefs stumble a little bit. Like I don't think the Chiefs are going to be every week putting up 60 points. Like I think they are going to have a couple. Obviously, they probably only need to put up like 20. But
Fun fact: Josh Allen has never thrown for 300 yards in a game
Yet.
Till
in his
this year.
entire career, 2 years.
Throw the
So,
football accurately.
Say that again,
it's-
Caleb.
Fun fact: Josh Allen still can't throw the football accurately. So
His worst throw is his deep throw, and he has one of the strongest arms in the league. Patrick Mahomes is just on a different planet in terms of who is a better quarterback. And you can pick the Bills all you want, but the Chiefs are such a better team, and they always wake up for those big matchups against other playoff teams.
You say that, but I've seen Tom Brady lose to Ryan Tannehill and the Dolphins. Anything's possible.
I forgot that Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes are basically the same player.
So I have a win for the
Tom's
Bills.
better.
Kyle says win for the Bills. Nick, you went with who?
I went Bills.
Bills. That's game over there.
I do agree with Zach's logic between Patty Mahomes and Josh Allen. I think that is fair.
Patty's obviously way better. He's better than
Yeah.
every other player.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I still think they're not gonna. I'd be shocked if they go 14-2. I think they lose a few more games than that.
We already
We'll see.
decided that the Chiefs would win the next week against the Broncos in our last round. Jets at Chiefs. I'm not even gonna ask. That's a win for the Chiefs. Panthers at Chiefs. Who's winning that?
Teddy.
Oh, Teddy's getting a big loss that week. My guy.
It's true.
Teddy's gonna take all that money he earned and he's gonna go have a nice dinner after his loss.
Yeah, the Panthers might have the worst defense in the league this season. They have about 8 or 9 new starters, and a bunch of them are rookies. So Patrick Mahomes should throw for about 500 yards.
Yeah, and they're gonna have one of the most average offenses. They have Christian, who's awesome. Teddy's a decent quarterback. Robbie Anderson is overrated.
DJ Moore's good.
I was going to say
true.
DJ Moore. He'll have a great season.
Raiders. They already beat them once. Do they go into Vegas when all them boys be out of them casinos that Caleb was talking about?
So do we have the Chiefs? We have them sweeping the Broncos, don't we?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
So I don't. Actually, they might go 6-0 against that division. They're either probably going to. They're either going 5-1 or 6-0 in the division. But I think I'll go 6-0. Screw it. Go Chiefs.
Well, yeah, I think. Do we all kind of agree here? Chiefs win against the Raiders.
Yeah.
The Raiders have played
when
them
they're-
tough a few times in the past few years, but I would still say the Chiefs are a different tier.
I think as we get down here and they clinch first seed, they might or a specific seed, they might be resting. But now they play the Bucks in Tampa. Tom Brady, everybody's talking about Rob Gronkowski's the best. I think Chiefs win this game. I think Patty comes out with a big chip on his shoulder. I think Travis comes out with a big chip on his shoulder, but he's talking about Gronk is still elite. He hasn't played in a year, and he's been banged up and hurt when he did play. So I think it'll be a good game, but I think that's a win for the Chiefs.
I just can't think of what the Buccaneers have done on defense. Offense, they're loaded and they seem like they have a chance, but defense, what did they do?
They were the number 1 run defense in the league last year.
I was number 3.
Yeah, surprising.
And they were really good in the second half of last year too. Just overall, they've got a great linebacking core. They've got obviously they got the
Levante David,
and then they've got Devin White, who's awesome.
Oh, that's right.
So I think their defense is good enough. I've said it a few times. I don't think the Chiefs are going to win 14 games. I think they're more of a 12-13 win team. If they are going to lose, looking at preseason picks, this is one of the better teams they play. They play them on the road. I'll give the Bucks a win. Especially, they might be gelling pretty hardcore by this time of the year too. The Bucks might start slow and really heat up, while the Chiefs are just it doesn't matter what we do.
So I'm going Chiefs.
So they might not care.
Nick's going Bucks. Caleb, who you got?
Chiefs.
All right, Zach.
I think it's a close one. I'm going to lean towards the Bucks. I don't think it's a shootout in the making. I really think that Mike Evans and Chris Godwin against that Chiefs secondary dicey at best for Kansas City. And Bruce Arians loves to air it out. So I'll take the home team.
All right, Kyle, you're the tiebreaker. Who's winning this game? Kyle, what do these teams do good at?
I'm now backpedaling hard on the Buccaneers defense after what Zach and Nick just said. They kind of sold me on that reasoning, so I do think the Bucs could pull out a win here, surprisingly.
They said they have good linebackers, and Kyle backtracks and gives
I
them
forgot about the linebackers they have, though. Like, those guys are studs. They really
Levante
are.
David is consistently one of the most underrated players just because
Yeah.
their whole rest of their team
No,
is so
they're
bad.
good. It was just funny. Chiefs at Dolphins. Caleb,
Chiefs.
Zach,
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Nick,
Well-
you will be last now. Okay, never mind. All right, that's a win for the Chiefs. Kyle's putting the finger up.
Hear me out. Is Tua starting?
Oh,
doesn't
you got me
matter.
there. You got me
doesn't
there.
matter.
If Tua's starting, it's still a loss. I like
Agreed,
Tua,
yeah.
but it's
Chris
still a
Jones
loss.
is going to have 18 sacks in that game.
Yeah.
All right, Chiefs at Saints. I was actually going to pick the Saints to win this game, but because I didn't get my Bucks, I'm now taking the Chiefs to win this game because I don't think they're going to lose both to Brady and Breeze. I think he'll beat at least one of them.
You know, I'm going to say Saints so I can try to push this narrative that they're going to go 12-4 and then wins for the rest of the year.
Has Patty played against Breeze before? I'm blanking.
No.
Interesting.
Although
Caleb?
Breeze might not be able to throw more than 2 yards by that point in the year.
I'll take the Saints.
Get out of here. All right, Zach.
I'm going Chiefs.
Kyle, put the finger up because it's a tiebreaker. Kyle, what do these teams do good at?
Brutal. Man, that could be a really good game too. Yeah, I think I'll go with Patty.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, they're sort of polar opposites in offense. Saints are such a short, keep the sticks in front of them, right? And they just sort of pick their way down the field with 1,000 paper cuts, whereas the Chiefs can, one big play. And to me, that advantage, if it's a close game, leans to the team that's more explosive.
Falcons at Chiefs. I actually think the Falcons could be a little sneaky good, but Chiefs getting this win.
Yeah.
It could be a shootout between Matt Ryan and
I think
Patty.
that's exactly what it could come down to, who has the ball last, especially if the Falcons are overachieving a little bit earlier in the year and they could be maybe in play for the 7 seed. That could be an important game because Matt Ryan, I think, is underrated still. He was so good in 2018 through 38 touchdowns. So I could definitely see a shootout, but I'll go Chiefs.
Chiefs?
Yeah, they ddid beat the 49ers last year. The Falcons did. One of the 49ers' 3 losses, but
Yeah.
I go Chiefs.
Chiefs. Caleb, Chiefs?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Then then it's Chargers at Chiefs. I think the Chiefs end on a win.
Is that
Here.
last game of the year?
Yes, it is. And right now the Chiefs are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
13,
8, 9, 10, 11 wins.
Oh.
Nick, dart.
They're sitting at 11-4 right now. I don't think they win 10 games. I think they win at least 11, so I think they win this game.
Well, yeah, I think they win, so they get to 12.
Yeah. All right.
I thought we only had them at 3 losses.
Nope. Wait,
You guys picked the
you're
Bills.
right. I, for some reason, put a loss against the Dolphins.
Huh.
Because you
Caught
thought
him.
about Tua.
Don't you bring up the Bills and act like that is legit. Get out of here, Zach, with
Yeah.
your trashing on the Bills.
I was
Josh
trying to
Allen
count them. There was Bills, Bucks, and
talking a lot of crap over there about a guy who can't throw, and you got
Bills,
Mitch
Bucks, and
Trubisky out there.
Ravens, right? Was it Bills,
Poor
Bucks,
Zach,
Ravens?
what did he do?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
So,
I
Yeah.
I
Go ahead, Caleb.
think they win the last game of the year just because if they are going to go 13-3, that gives them a chance to get the 1 seed probably. If they're locked in the 2 seed, then they probably lose the last game of the year because they rest everybody. But I can see them winning 13 games.
They're going to
13-3.
win because they can.
Caleb, do you have something there you wanted to chime in with?
No, that sounds good for them. And then just with the Saints game, I still think that's a loss. So 12-4, 13-3 sounds right for them.
I like it. All right, we'll run over to the Raiders here. Raiders at Panthers. Zach, who's winning that game? Big Raiders fan over here.
I think the Panthers are going to be one of the 2 worst teams in the league this year. Their defense isn't good. They have a really young team, so I'm going Raiders. I don't know who on that team can cover any of the Raiders players, especially Darren Waller.
Kyle looks like he's agreeing here.
Yep.
Caleb, agree, disagree?
I actually disagree with this one. I think the Panthers will be really bad, and I think the Raiders are a much better team. However, Panthers at home, Raiders having to go on the road, first game out. I think the Panthers there.
The Panthers did.
Raiders. Oh,
I was just gonna say the Panthers did get a new coach. It might take a while to gel.
Oh, that's right. Kyle was saying was agreeing. Nick, what did you say? I'm losing my
I think
train of thought.
Raiders. I think the Raiders going to win. I think Josh Jacobs is going to reveal himself to be clearly a top 5 running back in the NFL this year as long as he's healthy. He's dominant, and Darren Waller is awesome. And so even if they don't have like the top tier wide receiver talent, I'm not that high on Henry Ruggs, especially where they drafted him at. But yeah, I think they get a win here.
So that's a win.
But it could be close. It could
for
be
the
close
Raiders.
for sure.
Saints at Raiders.
That's a loss.
Loss.
Yeah. All right. Loss. Raiders at Patriots.
Patriots.
It's
I'll
another
go
loss.
Patriots.
I'd go Raiders, but outvoted. Bills at Raiders. I'm going with a loss.
Yeah.
I would lean
Right.
Raiders just because East Coast teams go into the West, and I think that's an 11 a.m. game, right?
don't
So
know,
they're going to be just 3 hours behind the clock early. There's statistically, I believe East Coast teams traveling west have a pretty high loss rate historically. So I would lean Raiders on that one.
It's an afternoon
Well,
game.
No one
is it?
agreed
Okay.
with you.
Yeah.
Bucks at Raiders.
I'm going Bucks. I think the Bucks are going to be good.
I said that the Raiders could be an interesting team that can make a statement to tell people watch out, and yet so far it is just not looking good for them.
No, it is
Brutal.
not. Caleb?
I agree. Again, I don't think the Raiders are going to be that great. They got a tough schedule, and I think that's a loss.
All right, we have another loss. Raiders heading to Cleveland to play Baker Mayfield and the Browns. And if this is where they get a win after having 5 losses, I'm going to lose it because they're not losing to Baker Mayfield. Them Browns be coming, boys. I'm going Browns.
There must be a win there somewhere.
It's not here, I can tell you.
I'll go Raiders, even though I think the Browns are going to be good.
Just to break the losing streak, you feel bad?
Yeah, I mean, the Raiders also started pretty good last year, too, with some big wins right against the Bears, and they had another pretty big win early on in the year. So I think they'll be competitive for the first half of the year, and then maybe not because their
Apparently
schedule
not.
is brutal. Yeah. But so I'll give them a win.
Kyle,
I
you're
like the
giving them a
Raiders
win?
too.
Raiders, Caleb?
No.
Loss, and John Gruden maybe gets fired if what we're saying pans out. He's on the hot.
They can't afford to fire him. He's
That's true.
3 years into a 10-year deal.
They can afford to fire him if they lose 6 straight, like we've just projected them to do.
John Gruden could go 0-16, and he's still going to be the coach of that team.
That's a bold take, sir.
Doesn't mean he's on the hot seat, though. Kyle, did you say this was a win for the Raiders?
No, I think the Browns could be clicking under their new head coach. But I really don't think the Raiders are going to lose 6 in a row. I do. They have to have a sneaky win at one point.
They got their win week 1 against the Panthers.
That's not sneaky.
They're not going to beat the Saints, Pats, Bills, Chiefs, or Bucks.
But that many losses in a row, though. I don't know.
So what are you doing here? You're the tiebreaker.
Yeah,
I'm saying Browns. I'm saying that the Browns could beat the Raiders.
Thank goodness.
But I'm just saying I don't fully buy it.
All right,
That's
let's
all I
stop
mean.
picking on the Raiders, and we'll give them a win against the Chargers here.
I think
No, just kidding.
yeah, I'll give them a win.
Caleb, you can't just make the noise. You got to put the finger up like Kyle does, or no one will pay attention. Then we
finger
had
wag.
them losing to the Broncos the next week, and the Chiefs after that. Now it's Raiders at Falcons. I think the Falcons win that game, and I like the Raiders. I just like these other teams and these matchups more.
I actually could see the Raiders being the Falcons. Like we said earlier, like the Falcons defense is not what it used to be many years ago, and it could be an offensive shootout to where Derek Carr or Mariota, but I think it will be Derek Carr that pulls out the win.
Maybe it's Derek Carr throwing to Mariota.
I'm
It
going to
could
go
be.
Throws it
Falcons.
back to Carr.
You know, the Raiders, a lot of these wins, I think, are going to be pretty close losses. And the key for the Raiders, obviously, is like, are we going to see 2016 Derek Carr? Or are we going to see, 2019 Derek or 2018 Derek Carr? Like, depending on which Derek Carr we see, if he ever gets back to 2016, they're going to be able to win games because he was a borderline top 10 quarterback. But if he's more 15 to 20, I don't see him winning a ton of games. So I'm going to go Falcons because Matt Ryan's just better.
All right.
I mean, Derek Carr hasn't had any real receiving talent around him since 2016. I mean, Amari Cooper had a real rough stretch there in 2017 before he got traded to the Cowboys. But look at his top wideout last year. Tyrell Williams was hurt most of the time. He had Darren Waller, but then Hunter Renfrow, a rookie slot receiver. Jordy Nelson, like 34 years old.
He put up
finally
700
has
yards.
some talent and speed around him. And they have a great
Nelson
running back. He
Aguilar.
has a good offensive line. Their
Mhm.
defense
Mhm.
has a revamped linebacking core. They get Jonathan Abrams back. They have Max Crosby on the defensive line, had a great rookie year. Cleveland Farrell's a top 5 pick. They
They
have
do get
some
that
pieces
safety.
here.
I like that safety.
And they added a cornerback in AJ Terrell, I think. No, that was the foul because they added a guy from Ohio State in the
Yeah.
That's
first
who they're
round.
playing. So who's winning?
So I'm going Raiders. I mean, they're not like an 11-loss team, and that's where we're trending. They are
board
squarely 8-8 wild card contention.
might disagree.
territory.
The board might disagree, Zach. So Zach says win for the Raiders. Who else is saying win for the Raiders real quick? Let's do a little. Kyle says win for the Raiders. Put his hand up. Nick says a loss for the Raiders. Caleb was a loss, correct? You're not a Raiders guy?
I think it's a loss, but so how many wins do we have them at? It's like 3, right? That seems about right
Two.
for the Raiders. Oh, 2.
Two.
Oh, that's awful. No, but I do think the Raiders lose this game.
That's a tie, and I'm going to take the loss as well. So then they play the Jets. Adam Gase getting out of
Win.
there. Let's give them a win here, boys.
Adam
Come on, we've
Gase
been
is
hard.
fired by then. Let's go.
Colts at Raiders. Colts at Raiders.
Definitely Raiders. The Colts are going to be imploding
Actually,
by then.
Kyle, this
Colts are
the
going to be a
last
playoff
game.
team. That's
Hang on here. The last game, Kyle, that could be where Gase gets fired. If Gase loses to all these losses, the 2-win Raiders, that might be the game after that they
That's what
fire
I'm
him.
saying.
But
That's what I'm
anyway, Nick says Colts get out of here. Zach says Colts get back in here. We're going to the playoffs. Caleb, Colts winning?
Not in Las Vegas. Philip Rivers is 41 at that point. Does he turn 41 at that point?
Probably
it's like
49.
37.
Oh my gosh. But basically 40. So yeah, no, he will look 40. That's how I'm going to make that sound better. And they lose. So I'm going to give that to the Raiders.
I also would give him a loss.
Philip Rivers is 38, and if that's December 8, he turns 39. So
That's a loss
right in
for the
between.
Raiders. Wait, loss for the Raiders or loss for the Raiders?
I said win for the Raiders there.
I said win
Win.
for the Raiders.
Oh, that's my bad.
What did you say, Alex?
I'd go with a loss, but Zach said Raiders win.
No, he
Didn't
said
I
he?
said
Colts.
Colts.
What
Oh,
does Kyle
Kyle?
say?
I actually see that being a close game, weirdly. But I think I lean Colts winning. So I think the Raiders could lose.
All right, that's a loss.
That's a toss-up game.
The Raiders beat the Chargers in L.A. Now they are coming into Vegas. Do the Chargers win or do the Raiders win?
I'll go Raiders.
Who won the last one?
The Raiders. This is their first win of the year.
Raiders win this one too.
Or second win. Raiders again. Raiders sweeping the Chargers here.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Raiders win. Dolphins at Raiders.
I could see Raiders winning.
Yeah, I'll go Raiders again.
Raiders. All right. So that puts the Raiders at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's
That's
not too
not-
bad for them.
To me,
I was
that
thinking 6 or 7 wins.
5 or 6 to me. So yeah, that makes sense.
What's
Weird.
that?
I
5
have
and
them at
11?
9, but
Was that 1, 2?
9. Wow, that's crazy.
well, I think that they're gonna earlier in the season. I could see them beating teams like the Browns. I could see them upsetting the Patriots. There are just a few extra wins in the schedule that I see for them. The Falcons.
Sure.
The Colts.
All right, let's see how fast we can rattle off these Chargers. Chargers, first game of the year at the Cincinnati Burros. I think Chargers win that game.
The dub.
Oh yeah, Chargers for sure.
I like Joey Burrow in the first game, but I'm probably going to be outvoted.
I like Burrow too, but no. Win for the Chargers. They play the Chiefs next and they lose. Panthers at Chargers. I think Chargers probably win that.
Yeah, I do
Chargers.
too.
Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
Bucks. Chargers at Bucks. I'd go Bucks.
Bucks.
Yeah.
All right, that's a loss. Chargers at Saints.
Saints.
Ooh.
I
Yeah,
agree.
I would say Saints.
In the dome?
Mm-hmm.
No chance.
Jets at Chargers.
Chargers.
I'm gonna go Jets because I feel
Okay.
like Herbert might be starting here, and
Which
not
means he's
good.
getting a win.
I think we did
But-
say with the Jets in a couple episodes back that could be a game where the Jets could squeak out a win. So that makes sense.
You know, that is Zach did mention that's because they're in Los Angeles, but yeah, what do you guys
I'm
think?
giving it to the Chargers.
I would
I still
roll
give it-
Chargers. Their defense is just too good for whatever the Jets have on offense.
Chargers. Caleb,
Yeah.
Chargers.
Sounds good to
All
me.
right.
the
Then
Jets'
they
O
play
line
the
isn't strong
Dolphins.
either.
Chargers at Miami.
It's going to be a
Chargers
close
Tua's
game.
starting. If
I
Tua's
think it'd be-
starting,
If Tua's
I'll go
starting, he gets
Dolphins.
eaten by Joey Bosa, so I'm going Chargers.
I'm going Dolphins.
I like the
Yeah.
Dolphins in Miami there.
Dolphins.
Looks like that's the loss for the Chargers. Then they play the
Interesting.
Jags.
Win.
Yeah.
Think it's a win? Yeah, looks like a
Agreed.
consensus there. We have whoops, I did that incorrectly. We have them losing to the Raiders. What do we have? Do we have Broncos upsetting them too, didn't we?
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
we did.
I think we have them
did.
going
had
0-6 in division.
They lose to the Broncos. So now we're Chargers at Bills. I think Bills get that win.
I'll go Bills.
Yeah, sure.
I think the Chargers defense is enough to stop Josh Allen. I don't think Herbert or Tyrod will put up enough to
Tyrod.
stop the Bills defense. Yes, sir. Tyrod Taylor. So we were going with Bills here.
Mm-hmm.
I just have
Patriots.
flashbacks to the Nathan Peterman 5-interception quarter, but I don't think that the Chargers are that good anymore.
Patriots at Chargers.
I'll go
Ooh.
Patriots.
I'm going Chargers.
I think Cam Newton is going to prove to them why they should have signed him, because if he was on the Chargers are probably a really good team.
I like Anthony Lynn, the head coach of Chargers, but I could see Bill Belichick being able to figure out a way to get the job done.
If Herbert's starting, Bill Belichick's record against rookie QBs is pretty immaculate, so I'd
you
roll
guys-
with the Patriots.
So it looks like Pats here. Falcons at Chargers. I think Falcons.
Yeah, I'll go Falcons
Yeah.
as well.
Well-
Again, I'm not that high on Herbert, and I'm guessing he'll be starting by this point in the year.
So mean to Sherbert. Caleb?
Sounds good to me. Yeah, I think the Falcons can easily crush the Chargers team.
All right, that means we have the Chargers going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins.
Wow.
I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know.
You know, I think
Bummer
my
because it's
guess
on the
would
board.
be My guess would be either the Raiders or the Chargers win a few more games than that. One of those two teams. But I'm having a hard time evaluating them because I think they're okay. Like they have some talent and they're really weak in some spots.
Between
The
their
Chiefs-
injury history and the quarterback situation, it's just so fuzzy.
Well, they got the cornerback or quarterback. I think it's a corner, sorry.
Quarter, yeah.
They don't have the answer is the problem. They need
It's
to know.
true.
Broncos do.
So AFC West, Chiefs win it. Maybe Broncos fighting for that 7th seed. We won't know. But so that's that division. The AFC is over. Heading over to the NFC North will be the next episode. Make sure to check this out next. Make sure to follow us at the Get Back Guys on Twitter and Instagram. And thank you, Caleb and Zach, for being here for this one. We loved it. And we'll see you next week, guys.
Boom.